Hello guys, and welcome to another video. Today we will be taking a look at the new TBM. Well, not the new plane, but the 2024 version. The list of changes is not very long, but we do have most of those like standard functions that we know from the new sim. Let me just take you where we'll show you where we will be flying. Okay. So here we are on Gibraltar, right? And we will fly to Faro in Portugal. Okay. As you can see, we will use like a VOR. That's saying the navigation shouldn't be that complicated because we should have visibility, although this weather here might change it, so you will see. Okay. Maybe let me show you the list of changes. Just a second here. There was nothing like very interesting in there. So first is that the pre-flight from 2024, right, was added. So now we can click on all of this stuff, on all of the covers, chocks, and so on. Second thing was that they have overhauled the KAS, which is pretty much the one where you pre-select the altitude and vertical speed. I'm not sure what was like working incorrectly before. They say vertical speed arming. That's saying I've tried it now and it just seems to work how it should work. So I'm not sure how it has worked before. Okay. Another one that might be interesting is, I guess, this cabin visualizer page shows now ear discomfort, right? So if the, I assume, propeller is too loud, right? If the RPM is wrong, then the value there will be wrong. I haven't seen it while testing, so hard to say. They have changed the lighting because like some of the screens were blinking. But besides that, I don't really see anything like revolutionary here. That's saying it's still a very good plane with pretty much only one downside, at least for me. I guess I can say it now even before we start the plane. I do think it's the like worst sounding payware turboprop that I own, right? And maybe that I have ever owned also in next plane. It just has those like very silent, boring vanilla sounds from some of the turboprops. And it's even more interesting because, for example, I also have the King Air from Black Square that is also having the vanilla sounds, but there for some reason it just sounds better. Okay, it doesn't sound great, but better. And when it comes, wow, this weather. Okay, so when it comes to the sounds, I think I saw a forum post of like Black Square, right, this single developer, who said that he has already prepared the sound system of the TBM for future modifications like by Boris, right? So maybe in the future we will be able to expect like higher quality sounds, but for now it's like, for me it's almost discouraging, right? Because the TBM like has a very strong sound in reality, and I also owned the one in X-Plane, which also had great sounds. Okay, that saying, let's just start with the flight. As always with longer flights, there will be chapters, so if you're not interested like in the phase of flight, then you can just jump to the next one. That saying, with this weather, all of them might be interesting, but we will see. Okay. So here we can click, right, which is new. We can also rotate, oops, can we rotate the propeller? Wait a second. I just did it. Oh, no. Okay, so we can also do this. I had chocks here. Okay, so you can set the chocks and remove the chocks, and also the pitot covers. Other stuff that you can do, you can also do an inspection of the engine. Obviously it's like not functional, you will not find any failures. And also open this hatch here. No lightsaber in this version. Okay. So you could also do it before in the 2020 version, but you couldn't click from the outside view, right? Okay. So let me maybe get inside. Can I click here? No. So Control C. Okay, nice that the door stays open. I always like it. Okay, and we can see it's green, so it's secure. It's not very complicated, it pretty much starts like every other turboprop, so we will need to watch out for hot starts. So let's just start. Crash bar, battery to on, okay. Navigation lights are the beacon lights because there is no beacon light, okay. Next thing that we will need is the auxiliary boost pump to on for start, okay. And we do have pressure. Do I have enough fuel? Because I was doing like another run. Okay, so maybe let's just turn off the pump. We can stay on the battery and let's just refuel. Just to be safe. Okay, so payload. And let's just add some fuel. Okay, and let's also take 2 passengers. There is no like visual effect, right, for the passengers. It's just the weight. Oh, and here I can see wheel chocks, despite like removing them outside. Okay, so it's good that we have seen it here. Okay, and with this, we should be ready. So once again, boost pump to on. Ignition to auto. Okay, it's pretty dark. Okay, and propeller to full. Okay, and with this, we are pretty much ready for start. Let me take a last look. Let me take a look from the outside. Maybe the covers appeared suddenly. No. Okay. So when it comes to the airports, both airports, so Gibraltar and Faro, are custom airports that are free in the base version of MSFS 2024. Right? Okay. So let us start. Starter. And we will be taking a look at NG. If it raises to 13%, that's saying it's like also okay to wait till it's max. In the video from the developer, he said like always waiting for max is safest, right? So let's just do it until it stops. Okay, we have it. So now, oops, condition lever, scroll up, and let's look for the temperature. Okay, stays in green. Seems like we have a nice start. Once NG reaches around 50-60, we will be okay to turn off the starter. Click. Okay. Okay, let me maybe turn the light on because it's already dark. I wasn't expecting that. So when I was like testing it, it was like beautiful weather. That's normal when I'm recording. Okay. So it seems like the engine is stable, so let's just move it condition lever to high. Okay, still stable. Now we can turn on the generator, just here. Okay, and we can also see that the volts go up and that we are charging. Okay, so this is fine. So starter is now off and ignition will leave in auto. Okay. So let's slowly prepare for taxi. Those are our instruments, so let's turn them on. Okay, and we also have those digital instruments which we turn on here, EFIS master. Okay, and let's just proceed with everything else that we need. So this was in on, so the auxiliary boost pump, and it will go into auto, so only when needed. Here, fuel selector, move it to auto. So this is this one that like jumps from one tank to the other one. It will now jump automatically. Okay, if you don't do it, there will be a warning here. Okay, and let's just proceed with the other stuff. So, bleed air to auto. Okay, air conditioning to on. And here we can set up the temperature. I'm not sure if I see it correctly what it is set up to, between 20 and 25, so should be fine. And now the height where we will be cruising, so let's do 15,000 feet, because it's like not a long tour that we have to do. Here the trim master, autopilot trim master to on, radio master to on. Okay, let me make sure we have the parking brake on. We do. This is fine. And let me just do a quick sweep of everything that we have here. This is fine, this is fine. Let's set up the Faro altitude, right? What is it called? Let me just see. LXGB. LXGB. Okay, weather 1014. Okay. Okay, nice. Let's take a 26 degrees and 13 knots wind. Okay, but luckily kind of in the direction of the runway, so not as bad. Okay. Is it like the brightest that it can be? Yeah, it is. Okay. Let me just do a last sweep. This is not needed, this is not needed, this is fine. Okay, here we have the heaters, so we will just do it before takeoff, right? So we don't need them now, and it's pretty much ready this way. The only thing that is missing is arming the oxygen for the pilot, in this case. Okay. Let's maybe also set up like our cruising altitude. So this is this instrument that was improved, right? And we are arming the destination altitude, right? Or the one that we want to reach. Now, as I said, we will be flying with VOR, but like it will not be very complicated. It will be 2 VORs only. And let me just show you what I'm doing. So this is the map. We are coming from here, right? And this VOR is 113.0. Okay. So let's move to the radio. 113.0. Do it this way. Okay. And the curse that we have to use to get there is 321. Okay, 321. Easy to remember. And we can see it changing here. Okay, and let's also move the heading back to there. Okay, should be fine. Okay, and we can also like use the takeoff flaps. And there's also one additional thing that is unique to this one. You can see that the rudder trim has a takeoff setting, right? Very to the right. This is because like of the torque or like the P factor or the moment of the very powerful single engine, right? So I have set up like a binding because to be honest, I don't know where the trim here is physically, right? Because those are the aileron trims. This is like okay, I don't remember, up and down, right? The pitch trim, exactly. But I don't see the rudder trim, not sure where it is. So I have a binding on my joystick, so I'll just move it to takeoff. Okay. Okay, outside view, that should be silent. I don't know, I don't like it. Okay, let's turn the brightness down. It's a little bit too bright. Okay. And I guess we can just move. We will taxi this way and then start here. Okay, let me just double check if there is anything else that I wanted to show you. I have the speeds prepared for this one this time, right? So rotation speed is around 85, and this is also pretty much where the approach speed is. It's also 85-90, kind of. Okay, maximum flaps is still 1 to 2 knots, right? And gear down is around 178, which is the same as like the first step of flaps. So should be easy to remember. And we need around 3,000 feet for the takeoff. Okay. No, why is it so dark? Okay, let me Maybe make it brighter with this one. Here, those two lights. I'm not sure if this will help. There's also a reading light here, so we can also use it. Let's use everything that we have because it's get really dark. Okay, last check. No, this is fine, fine. Nothing special here. We can check if all the lights work, right? Because it's a Black Square airplane, right? So failures are possible. We might not see the light. And let's take a look at the breakers, because they also work and can pop. Nothing. Okay. Okay, so it seems like we are ready. Why was that? Did I click anything? It wasn't there a second ago. Okay, let's just double check. Did I click something or not? I don't think so. Oh, maybe just because we have done the test of the lights. Okay, makes sense. Okay. So here is the parking brake, pretty original, okay? And it starts already in beta range, right? So you don't need to click anything to be in beta, because the single beta, like not the strong reverse one, right? So just the beta range is just the standard lowest setting, so setting of your throttle, right? See, let's put this to on. Some slight lag there. And I think we can start. Okay. The visibility is not very good just because of this hump here, but I guess we can manage it. Let's not run into anything. Hard to see something, okay. Yes, we can taxi like this. It's so uneven here. Okay. Okay, and we will be entering the runway. Right, so strobes, landing lights. Okay, and we will turn around on the runway, because like there is no taxiway parallel to it. This we can change to old. We can also enable the weather radar. The weather radar works, but it's like not custom as far as I know. So it will just show what the normal SOBO weather radar shows. There are cars crossing this runway, as you can see. So maybe you will see some during the takeoff run. Okay, so pitot heat. Okay, install. That always happens, right? Okay. There is also an inertia stabilizer. And it's like modeled, so not only will it like reduce the power of the engine a little bit because like of the alternate like airflow, but it can also protect your engine from FOD, right? So from debris that you can pick up. That's saying on a normal runway there shouldn't be too much debris, but they still recommend to use it in this one. I'm not sure. In the other TBM they only said like if there is a risk of debris, but maybe let's turn it on if they want us to. And in this one, they say in the manual that it should be turned off before we reach 200 knots speed, right? So I'm not sure if I will remember, okay, but I will try. Okay. Let's put the turn down. Everything too fast, okay. We'll just move back. As I said, we only need like 3,000 feet, so it shouldn't be a problem. This cloud, really. Okay, so last check. We don't need the pulse light because it just makes the landing lights blink, and we want them constant for the startup. Okay, the generator is on, this is fine, starter is off, ignition is on auto, this is on auto, and this is fine, this is fine, this is fine, okay, everything is ready. So, there will be no cool takeoff sounds, sadly, but still take a listen. And we will have to go through those cars, I'm afraid. Okay, so I'm stepping on the brakes because first we want to check the governor if it will stop, like the propeller here. There's like a YouTuber, Stevo Okinivo or something, that is also like a pilot of this exact 850, right? And he had like a failure of this governor here. Okay, but for us it works. So let's move the torque close to 100, but not over 100. Okay. Still on the brakes. Okay. And let's go. There's some strong wind. I think it should be fine. Oops, we are just over the torque limit, reducing, and we need 85, 90, a strong gust of wind. You could see the speed going back, and takeoff. Okay. We have climb, gear up. Whoa, that's really strong wind and turbulence. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm recording, right? So this always happens. I'm not moving my joystick, it's just like the wind doing all of it. Okay, flaps up, and we can now start the turn. Okay, let's turn on the yaw damper, click. Okay, outside view. Nice. Okay, and we can see the VOR is alive, right? The radial moves. Okay, so optimal climb speed is, I think, around 140. Let me just move the nose up. I just want to go and settle on the radial here. Okay. Okay, nose up a little bit. Okay, fine. Is it? I want it to be a little bit slower, so we need a steeper. I just want to catch this speed. So, okay, IAS, and now heading home. And autopilot. Okay, so we have autopilot, yaw damper, heading hold, and flight level change. Okay. Okay, and now we can turn off the inertial stabilizer, inertial separator, sorry. That's saying it will increase our torque. So let's remove the torque a little bit. Okay, because the engine will be more effective. And we can see it rising a little bit. Okay, let's just leave the clouds. Let me see what it is in Celsius so I understand what the temperature is. Okay, this seems to be fine, We can see it's pressurizing, so this is also fine. Okay, so we don't need the taxi light anymore, and we can switch it to pulse light because they help protect the plane from birds. I heard like the blinking lights instead of constant lights. You can see them jumping in between. Okay, and we have beautiful clear sky. Okay, so now let me use nav, so we catch this radio here that we need. I'm not sure about the wind, because according to the manual here there should be like a wind arrow, right? And like we had for sure wind, because you could see what it was doing, right? I'm also not sure if I like how it catches like the radio, because in some other planes if you're very close to it, it doesn't do the full 35 degrees like turn. But maybe this is just how it works in this plane, really. Okay, and now I can show you something that is unique to this plane, and it's also something that was not there in the TBM 900, okay? And this is the special TBM 850 mode. What this allows you to do is increase the torque, so here, to more than 100, right? To cross this threshold here and go into the yellow. But this is only for climb and cruise. Okay? Click. Okay. And now I can increase it further. Did I show you the correct one? No, sorry. I did show you the temperature. So this is here, the top. Okay? So we are already like have crossed the threshold that we normally should not cross without this one. But still, we will be limited by temperature probably. Okay, so here you can change to standard pressure. Let me see how much we can add to still be within the limits. Whoa, that's like a lot of movement. Okay, and the wind arrow is still not here. I was checking out those options before, and like in the manual it's just described that it's here, right? There is like, it's not described where to turn it on. This changes between nav 1 and nav 2, this changes the nav sources, this, I think, let me just click it, because we are on HSI already, so I'm not sure what it's doing. Yeah, I don't know. But it's a shame, because in those circumstances it would be great to know what the wind is. Okay, let's take a look at the weather radar. It's on, so it should work. Okay, nothing. Okay. And we are climbing to 15,000. Okay, outside view. And let's take a look here. So we have 35 miles till the VOR. And actually, like judging by how much we deviated from the course, it's probably pretty strong wind, right? Sadly, we don't know how strong. If you know how to set up this wind arrow, please let me know in the comments, okay? I also want to learn something. I tried to find it in the manual, but it was only the information that it should be here, right? But as you can see, it's not. Okay. Okay, so IAS seems to be working because we set it to 160 and it's holding it all of the time. Okay, seems like it works. This is like a nice tool. If you are flying with radio navigation only, with this one you can do like virtual VORs. So in a place where you need a waypoint but there is no VOR, you can create a virtual one based on other near VORs. Let me pull the volume down, because it seems to be getting loud. Oh, so now we can check this new feature here. And so cabin, and here, air discomfort is in green. Okay, not for me, but that's fine. So this is the new one. Okay. You can see here this pulse oximeter that they have added to many Black Square planes. But this one, like this plane, is pressurized, so this oxygen is only like as a backup, right? And here you can see how much you have. Okay, so we can turn on the landing lights. Everything seems fine. I can also show you like the engine condition 100%. Pretty interesting, like in every one of those Black Square planes. Okay, so let me not miss this one. It's getting colder, so let's see if there are icing conditions. No, we are outside of the clouds. So I guess this black cloud was only close to Gibraltar then. Okay, so maybe another, or maybe let's check if it catches this set altitude. We can see capture. Okay, so it works. No warnings, no popped breakers. I'm always paranoid in Black Square planes, okay, but here it seems fine. Okay, nicely going down. Yep. Okay. Maybe windshield heat, but it's not always used, right? So I'm not sure, but why not? Okay, here we have those soft right and half bank, like modes that just make the movement of the plane more gentle, like for demanding passengers, but that's not for us. Okay, let me just take a look. We do have a backup generator, and the TBM in X-plane I actually had to use it because I lost one, right, the main generator, but here everything seems fine. Okay. So let us now set up the engine so we can add a little bit more power, because we do have some, well, room left here. Okay, so let's not cross it. Yeah, so let's keep it like this one. And if we would go too high, there is also this digital engine monitor here that would also like show a warning. Okay, so maybe after we, or I guess we can do it now. So let me show you passenger view. Okay, and so Spain has pretty nice, well, not photogrammetry, but like the ground textures. There was also like a great free pack for X-plane, also with like those ground textures, and they were also great. So let me just see. It's also fine. Some turbulence here. Okay. Can we open the table? No. So I guess it's only the Duke that allows it. I'm not sure what this is. Okay, I'm not sure if this is not part of the door, because normally the door is opened here, right? Can this be a table? No, I think those are the stairs. I'm afraid to click it. I will not click it. This one doesn't work. This also doesn't work. Oh, there is a click spot here. Is it for the armrests? No, nothing is. Oh, okay, the chocks. Okay, makes sense. Here, nothing. That's kind of always set because I like having a table. But we can turn on the lights. Okay, let's move back. You might be seeing some blurring because now I'm testing DLSS. So normally I was never using DLSS because I didn't like it. But I think they have improved it a little bit. There's like less of this ghosting. And I pretty much need it if I want to record in 60 FPS, right? So I'm still not sure. Because like when I was recording in 30 FPS, in most situations it was also fine. Only when I was pretty much flying pretty low and like the ground was moving fast in relation to the plane, I guess, then it was visible that it's slowing down. So I'm not sure Maybe guys, if you have any preferences, if you want 30 fps, 60 fps, but with ghosting, with DLSS, please let me know. I'm still testing and I don't really have a decision yet. Okay, so let's center the heading back, let's switch to heading, let's get our map. Okay, let me show you the map. So we are closing this VOR, okay, and now we will change to the course 279. Okay, so heading 279. Okay, and in 6 nautical miles where the VOR is, well, actually closer because you start a little bit before the VOR, we will change to this new course. And this will bring us directly to the destination airport. Okay, so there is kind of a rule, right, that it's based on your ground speed. So if your ground speed is 200, then it should be 2 miles before the VOR. Kind of, more or less. But it also depends on the height. No? Why did it switch to... Okay. Okay, seems fine. They have also changed this one, that it's now influenced by the magnetic field of some inside devices, I guess. But I don't think we will notice it, right? This is very nerdy. Okay. Okay, and let's set up the next VOR. So let me show you. So the destination VOR is 112.8. Okay. 112.8, okay, and 112.8 for nav2, okay. And we can see that nav2 already has the signal, I think. We can always double check here. Yeah, we have it. We have it and we can see the distance. So this means that we pretty much can switch to nav2 already. Here. Okay, and we do have the guidance from nav2. So nav. Okay, and let's calculate how much is left for us. I don't know, I think this reaction is a little bit like too intense and it's overshooting this one. Oh, now I know, because Black Square has this custom VOR programming, so I guess it's just deciding that that 80 miles out the signal is not strong enough, right? Okay, I understand. So let's move back to heading, and for now let's navigate using the VOR that is closer, because this has a nice strong signal. Okay, and now nav. Okay, so now we should be stable outside view. Yes, I can't wait till Boris works on the sounds. Okay. Okay, but we are stable here. So let us talk about the approach. Okay, so first let's check the wind at Faro, right? And it's 1407, right? So it's coming from here, pretty much. So you will have to move around and land like this, okay? So this is also why we will need one of those approaches from this side and not from this side. So let's just use like a standard VOR approach here. Okay, so we will move to the VOR at 3,000 feet, then move in this direction, right, to 1,200, and then come back to land on the runway. Should be fine if there will be good weather. There is also an ILS. Okay, so if it will be bad weather, we will just switch to the ILS, but we will also start as a VOR approach. I will just show you in detail once we are closer. Okay, here you can see the ground speed. This is fine, but still no wind. Click, click, no? Any wind button here? I don't think so. Okay, let's also set up the decision height. Okay, let me just show you. For the approach that we want to do, I'm not sure if we are CDFA or not. Yeah, but both of them are the same, right? So this will be 396, because this is like the radar altimeter altitude. So 396. Okay. Okay, so let's do it like this and switch it back to norm. Okay, and it's set. We should get like a decision height alarm here. Okay, so let's fly another 10 miles, I guess, and then we will switch to the destination VOR. Let's do a quick check. I will need to remember to pull down the torque before I go down from this 850 mode, right? Because otherwise you can over torque the engine. When it comes to this one, I'm not fully sure, because I believe that in this like other TBM that I was flying, after takeoff, if you have activated the autopilot, it's moving back to neutral, right? It was supposed to be only for takeoff, but here it stays on takeoff. I also tried checking it in the manual, but I couldn't see it. Maybe now I will find it. Let me just do a very quick search here. Trim, I guess. Okay. So I don't know. I don't see it. Well, let's go back to the flight. Okay. Let's do a passenger view. Okay. Leaving Spain for Portugal. Probably some pretty nice beaches here. Okay. Let's center the heading back. And I think we can try to switch to the other VOR. So heading while switching. And then we can use this one here. Okay. Now it seems more... Really? Is it really moving so much, like 60 miles out? No, that's strange. Okay, but I'm sure Black Square knows what it's doing, so I'm just accepting it. And let's now fly with this one. Let's do another 10 miles. Okay, so the question is, whoa, I'm not sure if this speed is correct. Okay, strange. Oh, now it's correcting. Okay, that's fine. So when do we have to descend? Okay, so we need to go down to 3,000 feet because this is the VOR, right? We have to fly over the VOR at 3,000 feet, so that means that we have to go down to 12,000 feet, right? So 12,000 feet times 3 is 36,000, okay? So once we are 36,000 from the VOR, right, that we are flying to, we will have to start descending. You can check how far it is here, so still 30 miles out. I can increase the volume a little bit so you can like listen to the cruise sounds, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, and this is it. So I'm really hoping for Boris to save us. That's saying when this like plane was made, right? There were really not that many high quality aircraft like this out, right? So this was really something special, and pretty much nobody cared about like the sound, right? But now with so many high quality releases, this is really like a pain point for me. Okay, so 22 degrees inside and -3 outside. Okay, seems like everything is working. For a change, a Black Square plane is not trying to kill me, because the King Air tried many times. Okay. Guess I can make it brighter now. Okay. Okay, so let's change to heading and check if the other radial is stable. Okay, let's wait a little bit. Okay, so still the one that is behind us and is 40 miles out, right, is more stable. No weather. Let's take a look around. Yeah, some screen tearing inside, but I'm normally not getting it, so it might be like a special situation, maybe special lighting conditions or something. Okay, and I think we can already, or maybe not. Sorry, I will just tell you in a second what I was thinking. So let's switch to the destination VOR, first heading while we are switching, and now the destination VOR. Okay, nav, let's catch this one. Let's hope it will start to oscillate, stop to oscillate like it's doing. Once again, those like very sharp corrections. It's pretty much like only Black Square planes that are doing it, if the radial is so close, right? Maybe if I would just use half bank, then it would not bank so much, right? I could try it, I guess, but for now let's catch it. Okay, and now, so this is the destination VOR, so this one is free now to be used for something else, right? So let me just show you the approach chart. Okay, approach, I think I have saved it here. Yeah, so the ILS, if we will need it, right, is 110.5. 110.5, okay? So here, 110.5, here 110.5, okay? So this is fine. And another thing, let it first catch the radial. Okay. Let it just settle on the radial. Then we will set up the course for the descent. I mean, sorry, for the ILS if we will need it. It's pretty nice weather. Strange. Okay. Okay. Now it's finally settling on it. Is it now? Almost. Okay. So let's set up this curse, so 101 for the ILS. Okay, let me just make sure this is the correct one, because I think there was like an offset in Faro, or am I wrong? Let me just see. Yeah, because it's No, that's the wrong. Okay, so here it's 106, but this is like a VOR approach, and the ILS approach is 101. Okay, so we are close to the point where I will have to descend. So let's go back to our plane. Yeah, 37. Okay, so let's pull down the power. So we will be outside of this range here. Okay. Now I can switch back to the normal mode. Okay. Now let's set our destination altitude. So for this VOR, okay. Arm. Okay, now let's click this one to set the vertical speed down. Okay, so let's do it this much, and let's engage vertical speed. Okay. Whew. Okay. Okay, so it should stop at 3,000 feet. It's descending correctly. But I just need to set up this ILS. Okay. So once again, they are saying that the curse for the ILS is 101. Okay, so let's set this up. So here let's switch to heading. Now let's switch to NAV2. Okay. And now let's set 101. Okay, and now we can move back to VOR1, okay, and use nav. Whew. Okay. I'm always sad that there is like no seatbelt switch. I just love to like switch it and like hearing this beep sound. Okay, let us check what the altimeter setting will be at Faro. Let me show you. It's here. 1012. So almost no correction. Okay, so you can do it already because we will be going below the transition altitude. Okay, no over torquing, no over tamping, no over speeding. Nice. Okay. Once again, Black Square plane. You always need to be alert, but it seems fine. Okay. And now that we are getting closer, I will show you like the last part of the approach pretty much. So here you can see that if you want to do this loop, like coming from this side over the VOR and like coming back this side, then they are recommending to use the radial in this direction 282. Okay? So let's just switch to 282, and this way we will come from exact the direction, the heading that we need to fly it in an optimal way. So we are 279, so switching to 282 will not be a big change. Okay? 28, here you can see the ghosting. No, this is really bad. Okay, 282. Okay. Now we can move the heading back a little bit here to make it easier for the plane to catch it. Okay, we are below 10,000 feet, so let's turn on the landing lights. Okay, let's use nav, and we want to settle on 282. And in 20 miles we need to be at 3,000. I can show you again why. Okay, because here it's written that the VOR should be overflown, right, with 3,000. And we will take this shallow turn, because we are pretty agile. Okay, we are pretty fast. Oh, it's a very powerful plane. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the speeds. So gear down and flaps down at maximum 178, I think. Let me just double check. I have made like a screen because I'm always forgetting. So 178, 178, okay? Full flaps at 122, and then approach at around 90, 85. Okay, so we will see. Okay, we still have some time left, so let's do a quick outside view. So when it comes to deliveries, there are only 5, I think, in the pack, 5, 6, something like this. There have been a lot of liveries on Flight Sim.to, but from what I saw from discussions, they are not working. I'm not sure if all of them are not working or some of them, but this is what I read, right? Okay, let's reduce the speed a little bit. This is fine, we don't need windshield heat anymore. Fine. Pretty much the biggest trap in this plane is forgetting to leave this yellow range and then switching off 850, right? The mode 850, right? And I want my wind marker. Yeah. Okay. Oops. Sudden wind change. Yeah. Okay, so lights are on, this is fine, this is fine. Ignition should be switched to on if there is like heavy rain, but I don't think we can expect it here, so it should be fine. Okay, it seems like we will reach what we want to reach, like 3,000 in 7 miles, right? So the calculations work out this time. Okay, and this was the signal that we are 1,000 feet from our target altitude. And this is already the airport. It's in a very interesting place, right? And we'll just overfly it and then come back. Okay, let's change to heading. Let me show you. So we will overfly it using heading 274. But first, let's be atop of it, right? And also, once we cross it, we need to go down to 120. Or actually, if we want the ILS, probably higher. Let me just see. I guess we can do the ILS, so to 2000. Okay, I can show you the outside view. Yeah, you will see once you land, but the airport looks really nice. I think it's one of the better free ones that we have received. Okay, so we are pretty much over it. So let's reduce to 2000, arm this one. Let's start descending. Let's do it 700 and gauge descending. Okay, let's reduce the speed and let's move to heading 270. Okay. Okay, so we are at 178, so we can use like the takeoff flaps. So let's do it. I can show you. We have some flaps now. Okay. And we have to do the turn in 4, 6, in around 6 miles, right? Okay, so now we can switch this one to the ILS. So in this case it's nav2. Okay, let me double check if everything works out. 101, 115. Okay, so let's just move away around 6 miles and settle on 2000. So what we are doing is pretty much here. We are here and we will just do the turn and join the ILS. If it works out. Okay. So we are at 2000, we are losing speed, which is nice. And around 6-7 miles we will do the turn. Okay, so we are below 200 and they recommend to use the inertial separator for landings. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, let's not get too slow because this is, whoops, I just clicked something, but oh, the brightness, that's fine. Okay. Okay, this is the inertial separators, this is fine. Okay, I hear some strange clicking, which is stressing me out. I think everything is fine. Okay, and we have those 6-7 miles, so let's just turn. Once again, some ghosting. So let me know, do you prefer ghosting and 60 FPS or no ghosting and 30 FPS? We are below the glide slope, so should be fine. Let's do like a visual check. Don't see it yet. Oh, okay. So we should have like turned more. Okay, you can see the glide slope is coming down, so we can use a little bit of VS down, right? Yeah, let's use approach. Okay, we can do some braking with gear down. Okay, and we are on approach. It has captured the glide slope and it's going down on the glide slope. Sadly, this was like too sharp of a turn, so I guess maybe it was like smarter to use the other like outbound course that would give us like more time to turn, right? That's saying we are coming back here, so everything is fine. 122 is the full flap speed, so let's just reduce our speed. Okay, we are at 122, full flaps. Okay, nice and steady, and the approach speed is 85-90. Okay, last check, we are on the glide slope, we are on approach, everything is green, so this is fine. I guess we are getting too slow. Okay, it was supposed to be 90, so let's just increase the speed. Not too much. some nice wind that I cannot see the arrow for. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is like a stable localizer approach with what the plane is doing. Maybe the wind is very strong. I don't know. Let me just take a quick look. It's supposed to be 7 knots. Oh, this is not 7 knots. Okay. Still, let's just say this is nice and stable. Gears down. Okay, free green. Also something that can... 500. Okay. Okay, let us see how he flies this glide slope. I'm kind of trying to control the speed, but it's like going... Okay, so decision height was this like whistle that we could hear. Oh, come on, why cannot I get some normal landing conditions? Always this crazy wind and turbulence. It's not me who is moving the plane around like this one. I'm just trying to keep it stable. Okay, so now we are too high, so let's just reduce a little bit. We are picking up speed. I'm not sure, to be honest, if this is realistic, because like the other TBM, if you pulled down the propeller, right, the power, then it was like braking in the air really fast. And this one doesn't really want to lose the speed so easily. Floaty. Come on. Those wind gusts are really killing me. No. Okay. No. Oh, okay. Last possible chance, flaps up, to not make it easier for the wind. And now I am on reverse thrust. Okay, let's apply some brakes. I like to say manual braking, but we don't have other brakes than manual ones. Okay. And let's just vacate to the left. Okay, so we can turn off the radar to not give cancer to anybody. Okay, transponder on standby. And you can already see the detail. I always like those like custom but free airports. Okay, vacated. So let's just turn off the stuff that we don't need. So inertial separator stays because they recommend to taxi with it. I can show you how it looks like. So here you can see the FOD, right? So the debris that can get inside. Okay, that's fine. So what is not needed? So we don't need the landing lights. Alright, we don't need the strobe light. Taxi light stays on, and nav is kind of working as the beacon, so this stays on. It's fine. Yeah, I guess we can proceed then. Parking brake. Let's just find a nice spot then. I'm not sure. I tried to find where like the GA apron is here, but I couldn't. So maybe let's just move to the left, because the left is nicer looking. So just so you have some aesthetic views here. Okay, the taxiing is pretty nice. Like once you start understanding how the beta works in this one, it's totally fine. Okay. Whoop, some strong bumps here. Oh, there is a GA plane, so this is the perfect place for us. We just need to vacate the line. Okay. I think the suspension is like very soft. It's like it's the second airport where it's just like jumping around. Okay. Let me just take a look. Okay, so I guess we will just park to the left. I'm not sure that I can pay those like parking fees here, but still. Oh, it's like this. So maybe let's. Let me see. Oh, they are all like this, but so this one is occupied, so we can take this one. 209er. Okay. If there's nothing else. Private jet. Well, they are the same pretty much, so I can as well take this one. Whoop. Why am I turning so slowly suddenly? Okay. Okay, perfect. Again, so let's use the checklist now, because actually the shutdown checklist is pretty good. Let me just here checklists. Okay, and this is like the new checklist from 2024. Post-flight shutdown. Okay, parking brake set. Taxi light off. Taxi light off. Bleeder off. Okay, off. Okay, fan flow, air conditioning off. Off. Okay, power lever at minimum for 1 minute, so we have it. Okay, gyro instruments all off. So let's make sure we have the minute. Okay, 1 minute. Okay. FIS master. So here. Okay. Where was I? At here. Autopilot trim. Okay. Radio master off. Feather for 15 seconds. Okay, I can do it. Once I do. Nine, 10, 11. Okay, 15. So after 15 seconds, we can cut off the condition lever. Okay. So now we don't need the auxiliary boost pump anymore. Auto fuel select also goes to off. Okay. Okay. Inertial separator off. Okay. So inertial separators. Okay. External lights all off. So the last one, navigation lights. Ignition off. It is off. No. Here. Okay. Generator is to main, this is fine, and source selector to off, so the battery pretty much, and crash lever off. Wheel chocks deployed. Okay, let me just. Okay, so first this one. Okay, and here you can also let those people out. This is press to close, so this is press to unlock. And you can see it unlocks. Nice. Yeah, and those are the stairs. Okay, so no table for me, sadly. Let's move to the front. Also stairs here, pretty nice. If there is some way to just click here to get out, I don't know it, right? So we'll just do it like this. And welcome to Faro. Before we end, let me just show you the landing monitor, because I think it was smooth, right? But I don't know. And you can see, perfect, thank you. Okay. So a little bit of pitch, pretty slow, but this is supposed like to be touchdown, and the wind was 12 knots. Okay, and the G-force was also fine. Okay, so pretty successful. I hope you had fun and you could see like what the plane can do and what was improved. And I think if you are not very sensitive to very bad sounds, then I think it's totally recommended to buy it. Oh, nice rubber effect. Okay, so this is it. Thank you very much and see you in future videos. Bye bye.